they would pick up like Ditchera's like Shadow Fiend. I've played against him once in a pub and it was horrible. When you're a Rubik versus a Shadow Fiend, it's not fun. It's not a fun game at all.
Yeah, not all. And fourth pick is going to be the Faceless Void for Double Dimension, so that is a powerful combination with the Sqreen. I admit that is a lot of lockdown on their team.
What about a Mirana for Double Dimension as a last pick here? As a carry Mirana?
Only if they want to lose. No. This is fairly sure this is like the safe lane, Faceless Void, mid Sqreen, Beastmaster on the position 3, Wisp on the 4/5, and they're gonna either go with a hard support or something like a Tusk for the last pick. They need somebody that can control up the Gyrocopter. I don't think they want to add another carry to the mix. Yeah, I would say Tusk looks pretty good. What else can they throw in there?
Because I just feel the Sqreen is going to be position 5 here.
They keep banning out mid heroes on Unchained, so they don't expect the Sky to be mid. Maybe they're right in this directive. Could see something clouding like maybe a Warlock mid, where you just go for the levels and then group up. They still lack a little bit of an answer to the Keeper of the Light. You don't have the best Agnes upgrade with the Wisp coming through it already, or like the best movement it is. Right now he only has the Beastmaster to link up to. Linking up with her Void is fairly difficult. With Nightstalker banned out of the pool, there's no typical position 4 that can roam with the Wisp later on.
I have to somewhat disagree though with the idea that...
hold on a second.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna predict the Klinksk for the mid lane.
Klinksk.
Good hero to go with the Wisp. Lots of movement speed. Another chance would be the Razor, but I'm gonna say with Klinksk here.
Okay, they banned the Shadow Fiend themselves because I think they need a BKB core. I mean, basically, if you had one of those, it can just basically dish out most of the damage that Unchained Esports are dealing with their heroes. They do have the Gyrocopter with the physical, but most of their damage is basically magical and controlling heroes with not just stuns, but being able to nimbly move around the fight. Now that you've got a Void and an OD against you, which is, in a way, a scary combo in itself, but having that OD... Unchained Esports, whatever last pick they're gonna go for here, is they need to either get something with a silence. They banned the DP. I mean, the silence won't really help when Void has a Manta if he's playing position 1. But I believe that will be a weapon here for them, or a very long duration stun, but still a hero capable of dealing a lot of damage, because that BKB coming up on either Void or OD is just going to make Unchained Esports' fight a lot harder. If Void gets a BKB for himself, he can be completely uninterrupted during his chrono.
I agree, and this is like the most important thing, that they have something to lock down this Faceless Void. Gyro against a D in mid, it's a hard lane for the Gyro, so I think they're gonna switch it up. They try to pick for a different mid. What could that be though?
Partner?
Oh, yeah, of course, the partner. Should have known there's a Sky on the field. That was fairly obvious that they tried to go to something like that.
Alright.
Yeah, Partner is a cool hero. Talking about cool, that's a lot of cool particles for the Sqreen.
That is that one of the new sets for Sky with the shards, I believe?
It looks a little bit old, but there's so many particles in general. Like, all of the heroes have one.
Yeah.
And then there's Clockwork. Well, not picked yet, but no particles for you.
I've never seen J4's Sqreen, to be honest. I'm not even sure what role he played in Hellraisers. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember on the spot.
They didn't really have a lot of success there, but they just went through close qualifiers and open qualifiers, both of them just like that, and it seems like, wow, we've got a team that can actually like challenge a lot of good teams, and I think people weren't really prepared for that. It's kind of like what we had with Wings Gaming. I think that was TI6, right, when they won TI. It was like a team. They had a strat, and their strat was play like they had a huge hero pool they could play, and that's why I also have with Double Dimension is these guys play a lot of heroes. Maybe not necessarily Shishikat in the offlane with his Beastmaster. I've only seen him play like maybe 3 or 4 like very frequently, but Ditchera and Kuman definitely bring out a big hero pool for their team. That could be their strength here. But draft is done. Who do you prefer? What is the most interesting pick here? And IO Beastmaster is not the answer.
I like Unchained's response to the Faceless Void, but I feel like this has too much snowball potential for Double Dimension with the Wisp. They just can't freely rotate around the map, and unless this Caudal gets really big, which I doubt because there's so much early game pressure with both the Sky and the Clockwork, this is not going to work as good. So I'm gonna put my money on DD here.
Could be Double Dimension taking this game, but well, you've got the Beastmaster IO. We've seen it work. It's a very hard to stop combo, and IO also has the Faceless Void to help out during the chrono. Just get the tether up, give the extra attack speed, also cover Ditcher pretty well there. They still want to get like maybe a relocate fight after the chrono or before the chrono, kind of like a after initiation, which really helps because they have that global initiation. So they any time they are both level 6 on both the Beastmaster and the IO, they can either pressure their lane really heavily, get a rotation coming in from the Skywrath. They've got the Primal Roar with Skywrath's ulti. You've got a lot of lockdown capability. Plus, what I also like about the Sky pick is that they brought the Void, is they have the Chrono as well to have the Sky ulti throw in. That's a lot of things they can combo it with, but Sky just needs to stay alive. And there's still a Clockwork against you. There's Caudal throwing horses all around. Might be that he's not getting Ags very early because that IO Beastmaster lane is going to be really hard, so he's probably going to need something like
it's definitely not a game where they rush.
Yeah.
It's not a game where they specifically rush for any Agnums or whatnot. It's more of a utility build for all supports in this game. It's more... My screen is frozen. Oh, we lost. But yeah, anyways, they're already dodging out the lane, kind of putting the Jowler and the Clockwork towards the top lane. That meaning... Hold on. No, there's no way they do this, right? This is Boots on the Clockwork, but he's heading towards the top lane, so I expected that they dodge out, go with an aggressive tri lane with Gyrocopter, Caudal, and the Disruptor. But it seems like the Caudal is going solo for bottom right now.
Yeah. So does this look like they actually have a offlane Caudal?
Well, safe lane Caudal, but yeah,
or safe lane Caudal in this case with the aggro tri. Yeah.
They also start out with the Illuminate, so I would say so. Like, I still want to see the Clockwork, but he has no region. Unless is there something on the courier for him?
I mean, they're probably also reading a lane swap at this case, so they already want to set this at the start, force Double Dimension to do that TP first, and then either keep the lanes as they are or do another rotation after the TPs have happened, so they can basically, you know, like outplay your opponent. You usually do see an aggro tri lane probably happening when you have that Gyrocopter in your draft with supports like these, but still, it's kind of like you take the initiative. You're already showing that we have these guys here. You better do a swap or we're going to keep it like this. And if you do that, we're going to swap again, or we can keep the lanes as we are and kind of like play around it. A lot of teams do react to it. Some teams don't, but I suspect that Double Dimension, if they want to have this duo lane by the looks of it, Ditchera and J4 in this top lane.
Okay, so they got the spot on the Caudal at bottom. Both teams know the other part is there. Both have the same daytime vision as well. Beast did scout out the Caudal. Caudal did scout out the Beastmaster, and he's already hiding well behind his trees. Behind his C2 nowadays almost.
Yeah. Slash Strike is
so
the
unusual.
Yeah, this is the position 3 player though.
This is. Yeah. I think this might catch DD completely off guard. I don't think they expect this. So they're already trying to zone to get a pretty good zoning in. Yeah, they're gonna grab 2 runes here. That's well done.
Yeah. Also, that was a good move. I'm not very convinced about support Skywrath in the early game. They've got the Rocket, the Battery Assault. This is a dead J4. There's no way he can get out of this. The Rocket will connect as well. And the last right click. Celery. This was a good move indeed by Unchained Esports. Just seeing that opportunity, getting the Rocket out and the Battery Assault. That was basically, you've sealed your fate at that point. And that's a good first blood for Unchained.
But they're swapping lanes up already. So Beastmaster is heading towards the top. No TP expanded. In the meantime, guess where Jowler is? We're going mid, we're going bottom, goodbye.
Yeah.
Really good move, and I don't think they scouted him out, so they read this movement. They're gonna give away some experience away to the Coddle, but hey, he's... I mean, I'm still a little bit baffled about this lane. Like, now we have a Faceless Void versus Coddle off lane. This is not something you usually see. He is going to swap now.
Oh, they scattered out the Disruptor. Can he get a deny out of this pit, or is he actually trying to go for the mind game? Celery with the body blocks. One more Q from J4, but he doesn't get the vision. And Celery is the one tanking this damage, but is he tanking it for too long? That TP should be in place.
Goodbye.
Yep, he saves his teammate, saves himself. But, yeah, Slash Strike is now running around the map. The Gyrocopter in the bot lane versus the Void again.
Yeah, this is still highly unusual. Like, where's the call headed? Yeah, he even ran top, so he didn't even TP. So even if they swap again on the side of on the side of Double Dimension, they still have that TP up. You talked about it over and over again, that if you have the TP advantage, you just naturally get more XP out of it because they can't, or well, not the XP, but you get like the better lane advantage.
Yeah. Some cases you want to do that just to delay your opponents or kind of like buy your team time so that your cores can get the items they need till they are online, or so to say that they can do things for your team or respond to opponents' actions. And some cases you want to do it so you can just run over your opponent in the laning stage and kind of take the advantage through that. There's still two ways of using it.
Taking some creeps. They're playing this so well, and like Clockwork with the DD rune, he's gonna outsend his wisp, he's gonna get a last hit, he's gonna be hella annoying here. I'm still shocked about this call, like how seamlessly, innocently they pulled it off.
Damage onto Vanscore, but there comes J4 in with the slow. Celery, however, on the high ground has a TP available. Might as well cut the creep wave because the supports are going away. I'm not sure if he sees this rotation. Vanscore is TPing to the bot lane. Beastmaster hit by the rocket, but still a level 1 disruptor, and they look to chase actually here. The level 2 axes, not that much damage yet, but they will continue to amp up later on. That is one of the scariest, or actually filthiest spells in this game, the amp damage from those axes.
And now they transition to Cold to bot again. It's just weird at this point. Like, hey, we're gonna hunt your Void all over the map. I think this is something we've seen from Double Dimension, that they just prioritize farm on their core position, in this case the Void, no matter what happens.
And Disruptor is here once again, and Ditcher is kind of like, I'm starting to get a bit frustrated here.
Just a little. I mean, he still has a good amount of loss.
He does.
Is not getting as much. The mid lane has been completely untouched, and OD is way ahead of the Park 9 mid. Like, by almost 5 creeps already. But it's really about... I mean, I like the Coddle items, don't get me wrong. He has the exact perfect setup for me for the mid and late game here. A straight up Brian Boots into Aghanims. No questions asked. That's how you do it. Please don't do it in your pub games. Please.
Approaching the 4-minute mark, and Celery, does he still want to contest this bounty? Oh, he's baiting Ditcher. Oh, he's just kind of like, come at me, bro. That will be an Invis rune actually as well for Vanscore. Just have a bottle picked up. Regens himself and picks up that Invis rune. Is he going to go all the way to bot and try and maybe set up onto the Coddle? Or just hold on to it? I mean, Coddle's still a fast hero. He's got boom. And he is going...
Solo.
Yeah, he's going for Axe. And Ditcha might go down. He will. Yeah, Disruptor following it through on the gyro right click there as well. But yeah, Coddle is going for Axe. First item. Straight away after Brown Boots. He has it queued up. Is he still going to go with this? Or is this just a debate?
I think he wants to go for it. It depends really on the farm he's getting. He has level 3, almost level 4.
Oh, J4. And Ditcha level 4. That's the move you make when you want to throw a Chrono out. But he's level 4. You don't still have that. Area doesn't have any mana though. Just have a Mango in his inventory. But no need to use it there. The IO healing up Ditcher. Full bottle. A salve. 4 Tangos and Void. A Mango on top of that too. They're good on a regen, but might be Unchained putting a lot more pressure once they get that Clockwork back in the top lane. But at the moment, Celery kind of like camping this mid lane, expecting that Dire have that ward placed somewhere on their side of the river, and kind of like showing there and turning around, you know?
Yeah, kind of, but I would say he had like a really good start to the game, especially with the first blood. Tranquil's up and running, he has the full raid drop at his disposal, he's just running freely across the map. Yes, he's lacking in levels, but he's kind of making this passive space for them.
Yeah.
So they have a Coddle at the bottom lane who doesn't need any help, like not at all. Even if he fights this guy or whatnot, he can just freely blast away with the Illuminate. He just farms up the small camp. You see it right there, just getting 1 or 2 last hits, then pulling the camp, waiting for the next stack. That's what they do, and they just utilize Clockwork and the Coddle together as a team. While in the meantime, they completely ignore the mid lane, while the top lane is kind of getting decent farming against the Void. So it's all looking good for them in the end, I would say, but they have to watch out, because if this Void drops enough levels, so there's a Chrono up, that's surely a kill.
I like that area. It kind of like pulls a creep wave. The rocket lands onto Ditchera. It's a long enough stun that he cannot get most of his health back with his jump. It just pops his flat cannon to clear the push. Push the creep wave, but also throw in some harass onto this Void. Kind of like softening him up a bit, forcing this IO to use his regen. He's used his salve away. Ditcha back to full health, full mana as well, but bottom lane, they've got Slash Strike in their eyes, and they will find the first kill for Double Dimension with the roar from the Beastmaster, and J4 being the target there. So they're on the scoreboard now.
Yeah, 1 for the scoreboard indeed, and getting the kill on the Coddle is good, but looks like we have pings coming out on the ward. Sentry on Coddle should get to the water, yeah, easy money.
Jackal being the stand-in player for Von Kefal. We remember his Tinker from last week. It was a very, very interesting series between Mad Lads. At least the first game, where they really had like a lot of firepower on both sides. But he's now being stand-in. But Beastmaster here, Cat, Kenny trying to go the dupe between the creep wave, and there's the IO. That's the power of friendship as Vanscore shows up.
Yeah, that was a really good heal for them.
Instant fairy fire to bring out the heals. That works.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about the farm, because right now both safe laners, it's already getting a little bit more than the partner that is, but than the Faceless Void that is. Getting not as much. Oh, the rocket!
Ditcha.
No!
Oh gosh!
Oh, he didn't see the rocket.
Ditcha going down, and J4, can he finish off area here? And they do get the glimpse backwards, but this actually, yeah, alright, Disruptor will finish off the tanking and make sure that area gets away.
Absolute disaster. That was an absolute disaster for Double Dimension there. That should not have happened. So, Joel just get a free kill out of this, because Void was having a slight misplay. Gets the shrine off, immediately returns to lane, and he was even ahead on farm, so this puts him further ahead. Like, this puts him really close to his drums soon. Like, I believe that is the Bracer flying out on the Curry, as it is, together with the Sage's Mask. So, half a drum's completed, 8 minutes with face boots on a Gyrocopter. He's looking at 41 last hits over the 30 of the Faceless Void.
Yeah.
The only one that's doing good for Double Dimension would be, I guess, the Beastmaster. It's kind of expected that UD wins the mid lane, but even he is running low on mana, this, due to the recent nerfs.
Yeah. Beastmaster, Vicious Cat leading the net worth a bit ahead of the Gyrocopter and the OD. Kuman, 52 last hits in the last 8 minutes. It's an alright pace. And he's actually a bit ahead of Jackal. Not much though, but look what they found in the jungle. That's a free J4, and this time Vanscore not quite in time, but however, Ditchera does have a Chrono available, Disruptor keeping them at bay, and he is just faster than Ditchera, so he's forced to use the Chrono. However, is there any backup going to show up area? Well,
lucky
felt like going in if Disruptor survives, but that is just, I mean, one bash and no, it's already gone, but Vanscore 3 seconds for the tether. Does he get the tether out? It's going to be a very calculated if Area can pick it off, and he will! Oh, down to the last part of a second. Couldn't get the tether out in time before the rocket hit.
Beastmaster faults on the camp.
Yeah.
Blasted down by Coddle. He was farming it up and just got blasted from both partner and to Coddle. That hurts.
Sandwiched.
Pincer movement.
This is looking really good for Unchained. Wasn't expecting this to go that well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can they keep it up though?
Kill here.
J4, a rocket. Sucky, my friend. Horses. No, 12 health.
13 HP.
Ooh.
Almost. That would have been disaster, just giving this Coddle a free kill now. He's already halfway through his stacks at 10 minutes.
Now there's 3 heroes in the bot lane. They've got Vanscore around. We've got Cat farming the lane again of Beastmaster. Celery keeping this Skywrath at bay with the cogs. bot lane, looks like they want to put some more pressure onto this. They know that Beastmaster is their most farmed hero, does have the Helm of the Dominator. They can do a setup with the web and the ulti. It's going to be up in 10 seconds. Celery is, well, another good set of cogs, just keeping all of these double dimension heroes away. Meanwhile, all of this is happening. Yeah, meanwhile, this is happening. Void's not getting really any farm in that top lane against Gyrocopter, but the push is still happening. I mean, they have a catapult under the tower, they've got the Beastmaster aura doing work, that's 3 points put into it, it's a lot of attack speed, and these skeletons are just hacking away into this tower. And they can't even kill them off with the horses and the rockets. Trying to go for a little dodge move here as well. And Slash Strike's just spamming horses away. They want to take this tower and they want to take a kill as well. Celery will go down. It's a lot of damage from Slash Strike, but there's going to be enough areas already TP in 7 seconds until he has his call down available. Does have a drum charge. Needs to use it if he wants to catch these heroes down. Beastmaster's going to get stunned. The horse is already on its way by Slash Strike. The glimpse backwards. They've got Cheshire Cat in their arms. And will they find Vanscore as well? They might just have to give this one away. Well, at least they get the Beastmaster, and Area is on fire. 5 kills, 0 deaths in 11 minutes. This gyro is going to be big, very
this gyro is going to snowball really hard. Halfway to his Yasha, face drops completed with the Ocular. He's level 8 at 11 minutes. That was against the Faceless Void lane. That was not an easy lane for him, but all this swapping really turned out great for them. Like, yes, the Caudle is still... I mean, he's going to have a great Aghanim timing for an offlane Caudle. Like, he has a lot of losses lined up, 53 that is. So, yeah, 1,000 gold away from the Aghanims. That's a 40-minute Aghanims timing on the Faceless Void. You have face jumps on the Gyrocopter. This is like the perfect mid-game for them. And if it goes late, they have the Caudle to rely upon. Like, yes, he has a max level in Illuminate, so he can just freely farm up the lane whenever he wants to.
Yeah. 9-3, 12 minutes, 12 kills. Got some action. Double Dimension still hasn't quite crawled any kills together, but they're getting closer on that 4-staff for the OD. And Vanscore still level 4 because of the... I mean, he's only showed up to rescue his teammates, but he hasn't been able to optimize that Beastmaster quite yet. He doesn't have the relocate available. They will throw the Disruptor ulti below the OD. They've got the Chrono. They catch 2 guys into it. An Area, the only one who's not inside. Vanscore also jumping in, losing his life with a double kill for Area. And Ditchera jumping backwards. And Area still tanking that tower for a bit, but they do end up getting that Disruptor down. However, the OD already gone, and the tower looks to be going down as well. They've got the hookshot available from Celery. Is he gonna go in? He's got the opportunity of a lifetime, and he misses. Oy, oy, oy. Would have caught Ditcher there, but they don't. They will suffice with the tower.
I think he still would have made it out on the Faceless Void. He had the time work on level 4.
Yeah.
As you just gave away a tower again. How much word is dropped that is about it. You know, Beastmaster is trying to find any farmer despite being the top and net worth on his team, and just slightly behind the Gyrocopter. Yet he's only sitting at a health dominating the medallion of courage. You don't have any practical form of initiation beside the Beastmaster running at people. Your Void is in no position to fight with the Chrono. You saw what he did with the Chrono. He barely got the kill on the Disruptor, and that was about it.
Doesn't even have a Mask of Madness up yet, which could give him the required attack speed for extra procs on his stun. There will be a smoke gank between J4 and Vanscore heading towards the Radiant side of the map, just getting... Yeah, you still have 2 Observer wards, but they're straight gonna walk into Celery. They also smoked up. Disruptor ulti thrown down onto the ground. They do got the hookshot to keep J4 in place. Is he gonna get denied? No, he won't. They will take the kill, but there will also be Vanscore going down, and Celery survives this damage. That's another 2 kills.
So well done. He used the hookshot to keep in just in time for the kinetic field so he doesn't slip out of Saladin's range. That could have been a disaster for Celery, actually instantly going down if Sky would have reacted.
Area giving Ditchera the harass here. Does get the call down, the rocket will connect. Is it gonna be enough? 3 seconds for the jump, 2 seconds, 1 second. No, denied the opportunity for that, and Unchained Esports, have to say, was not expecting this, but not biased either, but I'm loving the action they're bringing here. They had their chances in the first game.
Took them off the through the roof. Like this completely caught Double Dimension off guard. Like nobody expects the safe lane Caudle. Nobody. That's just something you don't prepare for. And it looks like it's really working out. It's also the Clockwork Roaming combination that is looking so fluid. Like, they hadn't any time in this game so far that they just reset and did nothing. It was always just them running at people and
OD's in a very awkward position here. He does get prisoned, but he's ready to get set up on. They've got the horses around. He doesn't go for the blinding light quite yet. They've got area coming from the other side of the fight. Nice. Very low. The blinding light given out as well. The chrono will not be as efficient as they hope for. The OD ulti. Area gets a kill onto Vanscore as well. And Ditchera, he's with Kuman trying to take down the disruptor, catching two. And the OD is completely disarmed here. Does go for a little force staff dodge out of the horse's way. The prison is thrown out, and Slash Strike finishes the job, and they just might look for another one. Unchained. Wow. That was so good.
I'd say.
That was so good by them, and they will look for Cat caught in the jungle, and Sucky set the Pugna, but he does get cancelled by that little satyr in the jungle. Oh, the damage onto Vanscore, and he does take so much damage that he ends up going down. And also, J4 is gone, and this is a ready steamroll. Coddle's got his axe up, another glimpse onto Cat, thrown backwards, throwing axes around, getting sucked again by Jakal, and they will take him down. And also Ditchera just jumped in for some action, and he's forced back away. How many kills did they just score from that situation?
I think it was 9.
That
10,
was that was like 8 kills that they just got from that. And
there might be even more. They get a debone for free.
Oh no!
Oh, he miscalculated. He thought he can get the Jarroy. Oh. If only one of the rockets for Rocket Barrage hit another target, he would have gotten the free kill on the Jarroy. Oh my.
Well, we are in for a treat.
Everything that could go wrong right here for Double Dimension is going wrong.
Yeah, this IO Beastmaster we've seen is so strong. It hasn't been doing anything in this game. Vanscore is gonna get blown to the heavens. Instantly buying back, trying to save their teammates. 30 seconds for Chrono. No jump for you, sir. Celery forced away. J4 is being slowed down. They've got the Decrepify. The Nether Blast taking half of the health pool from J4. And they will just keep Double Dimension inside their high ground. They're looking for Vanscore. It's gonna be a dieback on the IO as well. And Slash Strike, the one to pick up the kill. And this team is just doing absolutely phenomenal things. Unchained Esports.
Even cancelled to relocate during the cast with the hookshot. This is a full chained feat now. Like 10k gold lead, 70 minutes, 25-5. I'm not sure if DD can recover from this.
They've only got 5 kills with a lineup they should have destroyed early game in somewhat manner. Like, they just wait the timing, then they can do so much things with the Beastmaster IO. They've got OD to back them up in the mid game. He's supposed to be at this point where he's the last guy to join in the fight with the Chrono thrown out, throwing the Skywrath ultis, always getting a kill. They just can't set it up. They can't get the Skywrath ulti out, and they can't even get most out of their OD. He doesn't really get to build up his stacks so he could throw out a big demolishing ulti. You call the hammer onto your foe, and that's another hammered Beastmaster on the top lane. Area 11-0, and another tower taken down in the bot lane. Double Dimension are in trouble. They are in real trouble at the moment. They can't keep up with the pace. J4 getting caught in the jungle. They've got Ditchera under the stun lock, and a double kill for Celery. Area bringing the damage. That's another 3 kills given away, and High Ground Siege is ready to begin on the bot lane. They've already taken half of the damage on this tower too. It's at 50%. 19 minutes in too.
Yeah, halfway health on. Like, it doesn't look like they're stopping anytime soon. They have the Kotal. They can siege this forever. They're gonna have no creeps on Double Dimension. They have no defensive tool beside the Chronosphere, which is coming up in 10 seconds when the Void actually respawns. But besides that, what do you do? There's a coal line to back them up. They have Blinding Light at just 3 tiers 3 at 19 minutes.
Yeah, they can destroy the shrines pretty much at this point and take Roshan and look for the last tier 2 and go high ground. This seems like the plan for them. They've got the entire map control under their hands, but now Double Dimension, they're tired of this. They have all of their ultis up, except, well, the Skywrath ulti is going to be up in 2 seconds as well. They need to catch. They've got Coddle they can take in mid. They need to kill the Gyrocopter. Even if they catch the Pugna, like, any of these 3 kills is going to give them so much money. Because that's a triple net worth lead on Unchained side. and OD is 4,000 behind. The Gyrocopter, they just can't find anyone, and their their bottom lane is being pushed in as well.
It's just looking really grim for Double Dimension here. Like, especially if the Aghanim's on a Gyrocopter, he will have damage output even in the Chrono at this point. Like, if he gets disabled, no problem for him. He has half a Manta style up, he has the Aghanims, he has face drops, lots of damage coming from his way. And that's together with the entire utility of the lineup, that's... I don't know, I really don't know what Double Dimension can do here to stop this. Like, they can't even find anyone off guard. The only one farming sort of right now is the Pugna, and they have absolutely zero vision across the river.
OD is in trouble in this top lane area, is waiting for his teammates to show up, and they're gonna set this up. They do have the Disruptor, they've got the Glimpse available, Kuman trying to get away, and even if Vanscore shows up, they're waiting a bit longer. There's the Disruptor ulti, they just blow up Vanscore! And there's also a hook shot into the backlines. They're catching Ditchara. He is completely drained out of mana, and he is held in place. Slash Strike gets the kill, and there's the Glimpse finally showing up. Kuman, what can you do when you can do absolutely nothing? And there's also the Centaur and Celery keeping the J4 Skyra at that bay. The ulti. The hammer has been thrown, but a bigger hammer offered by Jakal BG. And the only one pushing the bottom lane, Sqreen trying to create something as a trade from this, but Unchained Esports are in full control of this game.
Yeah, in full control, and just an excitement push will stop. So, like, they instantly go for the ranks. They don't even care about the Void at this point. They still have Blinding Light to completely negate the fact there's no... Besides the Scarif, they have no combination to actually go up against the Chronosphere. To combo up with the Chronosphere, more likely. And yeah, you see him look locked in place. Like, the moment he activates the Mask of Atlas and goes for a Chrono, he's just basically screwed. He takes so much damage in this, and like, not an entire free Rax here, but with Clockwork on the front line, it's a Rax soon.
Range Rax are gone. Melee Rax is already taken halfway down. Celery is just going man mode in the front. He will get silenced and he will give his life away. And actually a jump onto the backline. Slash Strike is gone too. 2 kills given away. Vanscore goes down, however. Doesn't have a buyback for 30 seconds. And they're looking for area Ditchara. He can't get his chrono out. He was casting it, but just cannot get it out on time. And now Kuman, he's been scouted up by the Hawk, and he can't get this one away. And he's silenced on top of the Decrepify, the prison from Kuman. And this will be a dead Gyrocopter. And that's 900 gold given away, but there's a Disruptor ulti onto 2. A Pug is sucking away onto Kuman. He cannot finish off the job, but the Glimpse thrown backwards. And he actually prisons himself to buy some extra time, but he will still be taken down. And Jakal goes down, and that's another 1,000 gold for Sqreen. And the Disruptor's gone too. And that definitely gives a little shift for Double Dimension.
3,500 gold across the board, roughly. Ow. I mean, they're still phenomenally far ahead, but yeah. Look at the net worth graph. That pretty much says it. Like, yeah, we acknowledge there is a little bit of a loss here, but you're still ahead. It did go down from 16 to 11k, so 5k net worth being taken. However, Void did get nothing out of it.
Yeah, Void didn't get anything. Yeah,
like 500 gold. That's what he got from this entire swing. Meanwhile, the Beastmaster got the line share and actually finds the Raw instantly on the Gyrocopter here on the shrine.
This is going to be an interesting one. He just gets stunned. The hook shot from Celery. Vanscore getting caught in spot. He will go down, and they will lose Sqreen as well. And just as it seemed like they were starting to establish somewhat of a foothold, they lose 2 of their heroes, and this looks like a Roshan call because of all the XP that was given away, all the kills, all the money that they just got. They're still not actually going for Roche. They just want to look for more kills and go onto the high ground. So they're not even caring about Roche. They're
assembling their fleet in mid quite literally with the Manta Style anti-illusion rune. They're gonna run up high ground with so many units that I don't think there's anything you can do. They still have the Chrono because they didn't get it out the last time. They want to desperately secure this melee Rax at bottom. The question is, will this be enough? It should be without the Beastmaster, especially without the Raw. Yeah, there's not even a contest.
They catch Kuman in the mid lane. They've got the Disruptor's Q hit onto him, and Kuman mana leaked on the spot. The Glimpse burning even more of his mana pool. There's the tether. Healing something back to the OD, keeping him up. The silence lands onto the Clockwork instead of the Gyrocopter, and it doesn't really last for long. The tier 3 tower gone in the mid lane, and there's the call down from area, keeping Double Dimension away from this fight. Vanscore, he's at half health, trying to keep. He's actually holding onto overcharge onto himself, kind of like a bait, I guess, there. And it doesn't really work out. They just will take the objective. You can stay there if you want to, but there's a tier 1 tower given away as a trade for Rax, so that is something. But it's only 1 Rax away from Megas now. This tier 2 tower still remains in that top lane, but Ditchara, no TP for you, my friend.
Yeah, it's still, at least so much. 2 lines of Rax for practically nothing. It's a 15k network lead. Not like it changed, not like they just recovered from the last fight.
Yeah.
It just... Where's your edge if you're double dimension? What do you do against this? Like, you didn't expect the lineup, you didn't prepare for it. Now you have a Faceless Void who is struggling to even remotely find his BKB. Your OD, yeah, same story there, like, not even close to the BKB. And same on the Beastmaster, they gave full BKB on this. Beastmaster actually being the closest one, being a top in net worth.
Tier 2 tower, the last Bastion keeping away from taking Megas. It's gonna go down. Meanwhile, in the enemy jungle double dimension, I'm not sure what they're actually looking for here. Maybe just farm around a bit, a couple... yeah, they're looking for towers to push, and there's none available. They're at least keeping creep waves away, so buying some time until those super creeps head towards their base. So at least a little bit of space, but Ditchara just gets caught in that. It was pretty obvious as well. They glimpse him backwards as well. He's still around. Has a jump available. Yeah. They really want to see Ditcha. He is the main focus at this point. Manticore still has a relocate save available, but if Ditcha falls too fast, it won't really help him out. Oh no, the Beastmaster. That was their trump card for this. He pops his BKB. He does tank the Disruptor ulti, but 2 guys are being stunned at the moment. The Centaur keeping double dimension away. Area throwing his call down onto the ground. And there's already IO sent backwards. He's got that relocate, sending him backwards into the front line. And we still don't quite get the full initiation out of this, but that is no BKB on the Beastmaster. He still has his ulti. He couldn't use it because the Centaur stunned 2 of Double Dimension's heroes on the low ground, so he couldn't use it and just basically tanked the Disruptor ulti, waiting like, okay, well, might as well back to the base. Buyback status for Dire. There's no one available for buybacks. Oh, the stun onto Pugna. This is a big one. The Chrono landing onto the Caudal as well. Slash Strike being the second target. Decrepify, however, keeping away Ditchara. Actually, was that the Blinding Light that was cast before? Because it didn't get any hits up at Area. Now tanking the full power of the OT. He misses the last one onto the high ground. And there's the hook shot also from Celery, not quite connecting. And now there's also the team from Unchained Esports keeping onto the high ground, and Double Dimension, they're hungry for blood. They know it's a 5 versus 4 situation. Even though they're low, they can still maybe continue going. Celery looks like a target they want to grab. Ditcha needs at least 1 stun. The blink from Kuma, they catch Celery down. The call down, thrown down as well on the Gyrocopter. Last Strike does get away. The rocket connecting onto Ditchara, and quickly Unchained Esports, they cannot breach the fortress. That was a good defense by Double Dimension. Yeah,
lots of damage on the tower with the partner, but just getting the partner while he's trying to set up for another blast was the key in this scenario. However, there's a 10-second BKB on the partner, so what do you do next time? Like, this is a 28-minute partner with a Blink Dagger, a BKB, and the usual items. Kaya, Ether Lens, Boots of Travels. He is so rich at this point. Yeah. Same with the Gyrocopter, and he's not even going for damage items. Like, he was trying to find anything against the UD, actually having the only miss 1 hit actually saved his life, but he would have fallen down as well. Despite the fact they took so much damage, if they hold a couple more times like this, they scale well into the late game. For all the gold that they get from any kill, if they manage to find a kill on Unchained, then they might recover from this. But this was kind of, you talked about the trump card. Like last time, yeah, he was caught off guard with the BKB. This time he had the Shadow Blade.
Yeah, he had the Shadow Blade on that 1 successful defense they had in the bot lane. They didn't suspect the Shadow Blade, and now he had the BKB. But they already realized that Beastmaster is probably going to be coming from somewhere else, so they instantly found him with the Sentry, forcing him to use a fresh BKB. So that BKB did save his life from dying, because that could have been an easy kill for them. But they were only suspecting he only has a Shadow Blade. But all the money that he got from that defense in the bot lane, he did rack up quite a lot of gold to get that BKB built. However, Io needs this pipe ready, and he's still quite far away from it. That seems to be something that... I mean, Unchained has a lot of magical damage. pretty much all of their heroes. That's why they have the Gyrocopter, and also in a samey type of defensive build. Celery's going to get caught here. The sentry thrown down, catching the Beastmaster, but also the rest of Double Dimension are also around here. The BKB popped already on the Beastmaster. They will catch Celery, so at least one kill. And Roshan, only a quarter of his health has been taken away, and Double Dimension now heading to the Roche Pit. No buyback on the Clockwork either, and DD's gonna pick themselves up in Aegis by the looks of it, unless any response comes in. The Jackal's hiding in the trees. Call down thrown into the pit to give some vision. Ditcha trying to get away from that pit. Now they're giving chase. The Disruptor ulti thrown down. They will take him down at least. That's another kill. Disruptor ulti also on cooldown. That's a buyback thrown out. They really want to get this. Yeah, no ulti.
And it's nighttime as well for another minute, so the whole can't do much here. They don't have the vision advantage and whatnot.
Roshan is just about to fall. Anyways, Sqreen taking the front line. He can give his life away for the Aegis, and he will actually survive. They will take down J4 onto the backline. They've got the puck now coming to the back. They got the Beastmaster down. Vasco trying to get away with the jump. He will actually get right away. Hookshotted by Celery, and Odie hitting on the right next to him. Kuman trying to build up those Odie stacks for himself. He still has his ulti available. 48 stacks of intelligence available as well. If he could only unleash the beast with that hammer. Does he have the opportunity for it? He's running so low on mana. He doesn't even have the ulti mana anymore, and he will lose all of his stacks, and Ichira is taken down. Buybacks are coming in also from the IO, but Kuman, what can you do here? He's still trying to desperately build them up, but he didn't use his ulti, and now with 16 intelligence won't be enough to kill the Gyrocopter. Has to buy back into this, and Unchained, even though they lost the Roshan fight, they couldn't take Aegis after that. They gave their response, and looks like it's going to be another attempt onto the high ground. They're still a bit spread out on the map. They've got the Gyrocopter pretty low on health in the bot lane, but the tower goes down at the top lane, and now it's only 2 buildings remaining. The Netherblast siege is ready to begin, and Jackal...
Everything lined up for them now. Especially with the puck now, yeah. Ward in a position nobody can kill it.
J4 might be the target of a glimpse here. Almost dying to the cooldown. Actually dies to the flak cannon here. Vanscore is also really low to falling down. And that will be mega creeps indeed. Sqreen trying to find an response here. But GG is called, an Unchained Esports taking game 1 against Double Dimension.
Looks like their potential has been unchained. Get it? Okay, that was pretty bad.
Yes, I did get it, and I was actually swinging my arm, but you can't really see it. I was like, that was a good one, because exactly, Unchained Esports coming from a 2-0 loss against Mad Lads, which was what the second game at least, or was the first game, which was pretty one-sided, and the other one was a real battle of firepower, who just brings out more and who can burst down the enemy quicker. This was a more stable performance by Unchained. The game was really tied up till the first 15 minutes, and
then it just exploded.
Yeah, it just got really quickly out of hand. Like Unchained, that off-lane safe lane coddle, that wasn't something you said that a lot of people can't really suspect that happening, and it did somewhat catch Double Dimension off guard, and they couldn't make out anything out of their lanes in the laning stage, and it just really quickly went into the hands of Unchained.
Yeah, Double Dimension, they need to win game 2. Otherwise, there's if they don't, then there's only a slim chance they actually make it to the playoffs. We talked about it. We definitely said, like, Group D will pack a punch, but it's most likely Mad Lads and Double Dimension. Now it's completely different. Like,
yeah.
This I don't know. Like, maybe we see Unchained just running over them again. It's this Double Dimension must be so paranoid now about the next draft. Like, what kind of crazy stuff do they put out against us now?
That could definitely be an upset for this group if Unchained were the team to take a 2-0. But first game going in the hands of Unchained Esports, and we're going to go into a short break, and we'll be back with game 2 between Double Dimension and Unchained Esports in a couple minutes. they will! They finally find themselves a little of a return kill, and now the rest. Sqreen trying to get away, Sqreen trying to get away, and it's Kuman versus the world. 3 versus 1, and he's used everything. His illusions just got cleared away, and he's used into the air. Also, the cogs keeping him in place, and Jackal still got more than enough damage to throw out. Is it going to be enough, though? He needs one more lightning bolt. Sqreen gives his life away to save Kuman. That was a really heroic deed.
Yeah, they saved the high ground, which is most important. They managed to bring down the gyrocopter. Actually, disastrous fight for Unchained here. Like that might be the spot where Double Dimension just gets back into the game with this. This was so well executed that they actually managed to bring down the Rubik ASAP. It almost got turned around because we saw Slash Strike canceling the blink from the axe after the Aegis respawned on the gyrocopter. But they managed to just, the force stuff from the axe really saved the fight there. So really good call on his end. He forced it out of the cogs, he managed to land another Berserker's call, finishing off the gyrocopter, and overall just solid performance from him in the fight.
Yeah, he got also really lucky with the spins there, like he spun like 2 or 3 times the moment he got the call out, getting a lot of damage onto the gyrocopter and enabling that kill as well, but also getting most of the heroes away from that fight too. So it wasn't a complete disaster. They managed to take down Snowman and doesn't want to jump onto the PL alone, not knowing who's waiting on the high ground. Are they going to smoke up again?
Fight and not put the Rubik in front and try to find the axe at the start. And that should ensure that they get a kill.
Well, this has been a hell of a series for Unchained Esports, and I'm still going to bring out their experience, their skill. They're still holding on to this series. At the same time, I'm really hyped for Unchained. I love to see how these guys are performing in this series.
Them to pull through. I want them to win this just to show it, so they get another chance. It's unexpected. Like we didn't expect them to get in game 2 locked down as well.
Yeah. We're looking.
I mean, maybe
he's there. Slash Strike is moving around. The pipe is already popped.
Blink wasn't.
He saw Slash Strike. I might not actually make it out of here, so quick reactions to get out of there. And yeah, he is actually nothing, soaking at least the damage from the rocket to keep your hero still enabled. Does it soak the entire damage though? Wait, that's 325 and the rocket's 200. Yeah, alright, yeah, that's more than enough. Being pushed by Double Dimension.
Sun King is in place on the high ground, so they will have a little bit of threatening. Not just yet.
Oh, they find Slash Strike instantly, and it will just take Sqreen down right away. No buyback is the entry point for Unchained Esports. Can they take this victory? Thrown out by Kuman. The BKB already popped on the gyrocopter. Another high ground, and now it looks like Double Dimension hungry for blood. They need to find. He's a bit ahead of him. Stoneman, however, scouted out, but he's also got a Blink Dagger. He goes for the TP heroes. And a lot of damage onto the tier 3, but they couldn't find.
Yeah. Hold on, actually, yeah, 600 gold for the side of Unchained. But still, you give this PL time, and when PL gets time, he tends to run system later on. Halfway through his heart only needs 2 vitality, or actually 1 vitality boost, and he has it completed. Once you have Gyrocopter, SNY and on his butterfly timing. PL actually overtook him in net worth by 3,000 at this point, for a die here.
Yeah. Yeah, the Zeus is already closing up on pretty much his full build. Gyrocopter in his inventory. Good catch onto Kuman, however, this is a big pick-off if they can finish him off. He does get the doppelganger out, dodging the rock. He does manage to pull out a juke, but he still gives his life away. Realizes there's nothing to the axe as well. This is not looking good for Double Dimension. This is 3 heroes with all their stuns can pull something magical out.
Not against the BKB. No. Not with Clockwork and the BKB.
Yeah, he's got a BKB on the left for a little fight here. They do throw the Maledict out onto Slash Strike, but he's got his BKB. 4 has already been taken down. Jichara has been forced away. The button 15 seconds for this axe to be up. The double catapult's doing work. Aerials, no epicenter available for this fight. Holding him in place. The call down, annihilating Double Dimension throughout the entire roster of Double Dimension. And they're taking this set of racks in the top lane. Yet this could be the 2-0 upset in this group and the first one in the entire turn.
Such a good play there. I think you completely missed it. So it was actually Rubik cancelling out the entire epicenter with a stone split earth. He randomly walked by. He walked this way and cancelled out the epicenter over here. It was so well done. That salvaged the fight for them. And frankly, and they're going for PL now.
Human, they're just holding him in place, and that is your pretty much last hope.
That's the nail in the...
I don't know what to say at this point anymore. So much. 41 kills to 13, and just destroying a very experienced stagger. Not in the right time as well, and Ditcher with the BKB area pops his own as well. Driving group, they've taken down Vanscore as well, and he hasn't really stolen Burrow Strike by the Rubik. The Fountain, they don't quite have the damage, but that is GG, and 2-0 for Unchained. I rest my case.
I'm shocked. I'm such two dominant games coming in from Unchained here. One game, okay, they got the better draft. They caught Double Dimensional off guard, but this looked like this is like they do this every day to every look like.
This team has been, so what to say, a bit underestimated. Coming from the open qualifiers that was suspected to take a guaranteed spot. That is probably even history for Double Dimension at this point, because on this series they will now advance into 3 phase later game Double Dimension versus Swiss Qualities for Double Dimension, as SQG has withdrawn from between SQG and any team in this tournament will be an automatic. Dimension goes up to 3 points sports with this victory from this series. They will also get the 3 points for the default win against Swiss Quality Gaming, putting end of this games are pretty much played, and what is the thriller to end this would be Double Dimension versus Mad Lads on a stage. That game is Double Dimension's last hope of going through into the top 2 in their group. So Group D definitely had a lot of drama today. So, we are a few minutes away from starting our last series for today. As mentioned, DD will be casting Saint Squad Gaming versus Espada, which is by a organization. So this game will be both shown on the Finnish channel. In a few minutes, we'll be ready to go. We will see you then. today. That will be Espada, known by the Espada organization, and this match will be from Group A. So the games that have been played in Group A were there was Gambit versus the Brest check on how that series is sitting on 3 points, and in their group, Potom. We've not covered, I think, we did cover Saint Squad on the strengths of these two teams.
Combined Nunji or Espada, we're expecting from most of the CIS teams. For Saints, kind of focus for both teams on the side note. But back to teams, since Saint Squad is lived day, then we actually have Group A decided. It would be Gambit versus Espada in the decider, who takes slot 1 in priority for a rank 2nd. But Brest if Espada wins both these games.
Well, we've been praying for no Viper. We have Viper Bane on us now, Jakiro,
disgusting.
and a lone.
This is something. There's also no Undying, no Lich. This looks like some solid early out of Espada, so no, Saint Squad is going the long run with the lone Druid in the mid to late game because you have a chance to have a solid lane with the Jakiro. That is one lane, you know, Jakiro. For the mid lane, if they want to center more attention to him, or put him in a Jakiro and still be fine. The only thing they have to look out for would be the Viper Bane combination, which is a really nasty lane.
It certainly is. Overall, both are very. Does make Jakiro's life a bit harder. My path as well, but doesn't really bring that 1 point. You just want to bring out the max. However, having his own magic resistance from his currently need to have at least one hero, how to have something that counters him later on.
The annoying heroes beside the lead. No big counter push so far for Saint Squad. They have Jakiro to work actually. So hey, third pick partner. Third pick Tusk. Okay, that is a good Roma to come from that. You're stuck in a constant slice from the Viper. You need someone like PL for the mid lane. Themselves on the first slot. Go to like the Blink heroes like Queen of Pain, but Pucky hero we don't usually see in the mid lane anymore. So not the best choice either.
Maybe even fall down to a Quap, and I don't think Quap can even do.
It's squishy, so what about we just take it?
Yeah, I remember. Like, that was the first.
Not at all, I would say here. But go for the position 5 or 4 Skywrath. So where's your roaming support? There's nothing on Saint Squad right now, and snowballing out of control. And in this case,
would they want to fill this year? A lot of their Espada have are fair Sand King as well. On top of that, sort of as well, another team fight setup as well. You take down towers or get a lot of lane. But if you,
I don't think there's any chance lane. One of the most iconic duos in that. No real carrier can quickly stay completely undecided. So Espada will
be a Brewmaster, so that will be Path or Jakiro, frontliner tankiness. They're either an option.
Can lane against the Viper? That's the question here. Upside against him because Viper needs quite some time and has pretty bad range in comparison. However, I'm limited. There's already Sun King and Bane, 2 heavy tasks to deal up with. They might just be looking at controlling the role on the side of Sparta. They might even add more to the mix for all we know. There's still one pick undecided. It'll be like the safe lane Viper choice or the off lane, something completely different for the mid lane. Like really grim. I mean, if I were
expecting that Espada could probably look for ports around as well, and of course the Lone Druid, but same lot. So I mean, Brewmaster, Luna, Sky are shrines, but Espada's just doesn't get his ulti out. Same thing with the Brew, and if these it's not
with the slot pick, they just lock this game down. Against Luna, he's gonna struggle a little bit with early on. If you lane him against the Brew in comparison to Brew, because Brew relies. But even if on Slug, even if you only hit every second hit, you still steal that essence shift, and then you just trade better every time.
Put it into their favor, their draft. But it's the way these drafts are looking, at least in this game 1. If someone can still be, yeah, exactly.
For how long do you want to delay this? It's going to be absolutely crazy down the road. Like the only chance I see them is if Saint Squad decides to go with the Skywrath, the silence on the Slug. With like I know Sky close to the slot.
It does pretty much abilities on the dire side. Like probably won't. We'll see is that if they contest into an aggro tri lane to this bottom lane. I still don't know if it's I live or I love lane versus what it looks like. Do you remember was I live or I love? Well, remember was it I live to win? I believe it was I live.
I'm just rotating the slot up. They will and just go up try. Has to go fairly closely, but with the Luna with her extra damage might...
Yeah. And the Skywrath in the top lane. And Lone Druid is gonna be, I mean, according to levels, like, it's Nefrit gonna be taken down in the bot lane. Dota.
Sunking is gonna have farm, your stream mangas to always keep it safe, especially for the slot, but you don't need that much farm early on. It's not percentage damage with the poison attack. You have a
it's just that he cannot reach the start. He still wants to keep some of this mana for himself, but helping him out. But still, Lone still is leading by 1. Live to Win's also grabbing. He actually even looking like he's going more in the field. And debuff from Dual Breath, and he's hoping that he gets some last hits out. Good snow Dual Breath.
On the top lane, at lane, just at this point. Mid lane is...
Does tell Demidrol and Black Arc that there's someone around that he couldn't really go.
Misha was here.
Yeah.
Unless you throw out everything with the Ancient Seal. Especially Drunken Haze. Every
5
time
minutes.
he passes, there's one Dark Pact, yeah, he's done for.
The most even farmed up game on all the cores as Brewman has only 1 kill. This could be a second one. I was about to say there's only 1 kill in the first 5 minutes. Up in a second, they do have the slow coming. And BCZ gets away with that.
Hero, so you will always have stack at least.
Yeah, they just took the wards on immersion.
But he's showing up either top or bottom. Nobody helping gank. Nobody helped the slug when he was a little bit of an iffy top. So he knows
here was hoping to be the clever right up to him. That was a bit of a mistake. And Brewmaster's got his out. No, the damage is that's a lot of damage onto a Skywrath. 4 does certainly look.
What will happen? Find out next week.
Base solo once again. Any charges? Boros Strike.
Yeah. At most they get stopped.
It's pretty tanky. It's like 1,000.
Just snowball unstable.
Immersion walking away.
Are they? They want to.
The Boros Strike. So. I live to win.
Did die on the Brewmaster, which is
a big one, and here hoping for a root to take place, but raindrops burnt down. He's gonna now 3 more seconds for yet again. BCZ does have a burst drop. Was really good space by him.
Gold still, like I know he isn't farming, but he's really, hey, there's nobody here. What do we actually do? And the response to that Viper is actually like that pickup from the Viper. They built him into the carry machine to back up Nick's Nick's of a damage dealer, as well as both against the Brewmaster going for more carry focused items. They have to match up.
He does have his ulti available on Nefrit. He will use it to get a couple onto immersion. The slow throw, but the bottle is healing up the Sand King. The immersion line, but there's that early ice path leveled up by Storo, making work down to RNG as well. That his and 2 times onto immersion. So not to Nefrit, but they do find Storo. They will hold the 1 charges, but they already got the Sand King down for the deny. And Black Arc is gonna be a tight one. Yeah, he won't get immersion very well. And Nyx is just doing so much, forcing Sailor to use that all.
That was so unlucky by Story. I believe it was pulled by. Sometimes he does get ganked by neutral.
Their cores are pretty well farmed in this game. Sand King and Tusk follow. That is Skywrath gone.
But hey, you get a free kill on the Viper. I mean, he gets up that Maelstrom. It seems that he pretty much farms or struggling a little bit on the slot.
Exactly. 3-man smoke coming in. Maybe Saint Squad can find something. Blink on the Brewmaster. That's 12 minutes. At level 6, however. But Viper is the good stun coming out of the silence as well. Find the possibility to jump in there. That's
yeah, the free to do it by any means. Just for the extra damage, then going. Slug, however, his ED terrible against tires. He also doesn't want a backup plan if it doesn't work. I think this is one. It's not really online until the Viper reaches.
It's like when you're offered the, however Nixie just walks away.
Yeah, just give him up.
Join in anyway. He wouldn't really be able to win. He's damaged to it, but it's a possibility that Saint Squad and there's a Maelstrom also on the Viper now.
This Viper is building into so much BKB. Nobody will be able to touch him in the level 10. I imagine he wants to go towards the attack range on 15, which he will be reaching shortly if he keeps following up every.
They are trading, but finally finishes the job. OV tier 1 traded from the bot. Maybe they do have that one. Just giving up the courier to Misha in this bot area. Keep the bot lane pushed in camp because they also one tower. This one is not necessarily that one cliff ward. It's very obvious.
Yeah, they almost catch the Slug over the Luna, and this is too cool. Slug might just snowball out of control any moment. Has the BKB queued up. I'm not sure what he wants to play any second here. And
Skywrath that is just so much stun onto the Brewmaster. They don't have any silence to the toss because the Slark is just gonna heal more seconds to get away them. Maybe use them.
Usually 30 minutes, but hey, they just
seems good. They managed to pull that off. A little pause, and Sqreen is looking to build into drums. Still on the courier. I don't know.
Aim for the Brew.
Yeah.
Wherever he goes, he just before he casts the Dark Pact. If Dark
There's also a Radiance almost ready, a very efficient item against the Viper and the Snare. They've got the, but at what cost though? I'm onto the Bear. Still, like that Radiance is probably it's gonna be somewhat complicated.
It's a big power spike for the Bear, and is this enough though? There's so much
completely in the hiding, and they're actually looking for at 2,000 health at the moment.
Better for them. This is like he did finish up his Echo but he needs to BKB faster in case he gets.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
See, but it's not quite bouncy. The Nightmare save. Next, they also put him into the air. Saint Squad Gaming.
Did run into an observable from the dart and dropped the sentry down, and Sky wasn't
and
playing.
It looks ECC's already gone down, and Immersion will be going down. Gaming just seems to be more the Bear is the benefit for Nyx here on this hero push. Or even
if they can do this again, they just have so much. Slug just lost 3,000 and some leftovers. And I hear Fiend Script.
Yeah, I also hear. Oh, that's.
Yeah, this is looking. Then Slug can't find any targets anymore.
God, doesn't look like they even pulled off in between after those buybacks coming in. It's gone to less than a K. The world works nowadays, and there just shows his positioning complete. It's a bit unfortunate for him too.
Yeah, like they need a lot of commitment. Let me go here at nothing. He's almost charged up to continue.
Yeah.
If basically how
happen if you need to TP somewhere for a team fight right away, hoping for a chance, but now it will be connecting right next to the still coming into play as ILTV. Sailor does have that fear onto the side.
For a spotter in exchange. Crazy. Slog.
This graph can.
I don't think he's sure if this is a trap. He's thinking this is a trap. God on the Slog here if he loses one more time. You want to go from gank to gank without
this little Jimmy got bot lane. They find out Nyx, and now a lot of things. The Radiance is burning. He took quite a long time. They knew the Vita would be a big one if they catch the Brewmaster. He does. So thrown onto the Lone Druid. He's taking a lot of the Bear to follow him. And
big pick-off actually for the side of Saints. More damage now, but it should make sure Luna kind of whiffed the ultimate plays here. Oh, a little bit unfair.
Play. The Roshan is down to 20. The Ice Path thrown onto the Viper. Gonna end up falling down by BCC, catching the epicenter, and Stora will go down.
It looks like way more gold than actually was. BCC just excellent epicenter. Okay. Plot twist. There isn't even a push coming in.
Yeah.
Spotlight. He managed to grab the Aegis and a nice board. Nice.
This Viper as well, so he does have defensive. They've thought this whole thing really tell you everything, but it does. And even though they got the
they're looking for Isis so they can stop it, so nothing happened really.
Increase a lot of in this game. The Tusk already used his, Jakiro's used his.
A carry Viper with 100.
It does have a little bit that pusher type health for primal split.
If anyone in his team actually gets one he can drop, preferably the Tusk, he already has the BKB on the Slug, so it's.
So Sailor, Slug is now stronger than the Bear.
Shift is really the agility steal, especially in the new patch. Luna's an agility here, so every time she
coming in, BCC, the epicenter cannot get that kill done quite in the job. Gaming just keep on going. They can probably take.
They have to finish it off ASAP. Which looks like a clean retreat from.
He's not.
Oh, this is the result. That is really unfortunate here.
Kind of enjoying this game.
Without either Maelstrom or the Impact.
Well, they've got to send this Bear in quickly. This Roshan Espada is just going to get it for free.
Might be the high ground push they've been looking for. They want it.
Ooh, this is very close with that.
He can effective.
Well, they got the chair, and suddenly, now it's 8. Can understand how net worth seems to. That's some. Anyway, yeah.
No, it's not. That's that agility still from Luna way between fights. You still have some extra agility going into the fight. Not really an initiation game. You have to send.
well towards late.
Sort of, yeah, like interrupts him at level 20. I'm fairly sure he wants the only hurts on Luna and also hurts on the Spirit.
Damage to complete minus because it's only down to the Blade Mail and the Radiance.
So he will still deal, so they don't have to worry about it. They're not leaving this at all.
And King dropping low, he didn't even get the chance to. They're happy with that. They got the gem back.
Has to be on the slug that he has a double life. I think they look to that.
Still Immersion gets caught by that. Rest
that's just something
there. And the Radiance to assist as well through the BKB, and it's just gonna be way too much. The Manta dodge from Misha as well, but they still end up the heroes down with them, and that is
5k gold trade for just whatever he wants to. Like, this base is fully fucked up. They had one less core in the fight, and they only killed the Luna. All their supports were effective. So, well executed team fight by Saint Squad with 2 Raxes on the top and the mid.
Even less.
Yeah.
Go to jail because you know, simple way of getting out. Like if you just cast the snow of the time for a Tusk to always get out. There we go. That's more than enough. It's gone, but it's still forcing anything, to be honest.
That's one for 25. But I would say the Ice Path is okay.
The Cyclone onto another hero, you can easily kill off and take into account. There's the only hero is Path Talent, but I still believe that's gonna be every other type of control. So I just in time. Yeah, he did get that Ice Path Talent.
Yeah, Sun King did forcing out, he wants to slow people down. So fun talents yet. So more offensive position fight.
They're smoked so close. They find the Lone Druid gets away with just the Nyx tanking a big portion, but there's no more damage left to. And they force out 2
backfoot here. They barely managed to cling on.
He's really a cornerstone for it. That will make, I think that will fight Roche pit for themselves, but is there anyone? And the Lone Druid will have to. The Luna has respawned, and no one's gonna. And that's GG. Well played. Just like that. It was a very. Their spine kind of broke there.
Wow, exhausting game, back and forth, but in the end it was just wasn't it. They were always one item behind until.
Definitely an interesting one because that was almost really well early on. Only game 1 as we are. Wait, the second game.
Every day.
What do you think? This
a little bit to the lineup of Saint Squad, but the Viper. We're not looking at you, Viper. But I have the feeling we're gonna see a first pick.
I'm kind of certain this might pick up the Viper as their second. No,
just do it.
Seconds to pick.
They did have that early game lineup in that same idea, but fourth pick. The line late game, some game part where Slark finished his Shadowblade. He got this for both teams in that game. They'll onto your opponent with them if you have like 4 heroes, but not try and take a straight. I don't know what kind
of.
Come
on, back me up here. Back me up.
I'm not.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Nice team we are. Going here is ban 8. Again, unlike either the ban or the instant pick for Sparta.
Yeah, if they don't ban it, it's gonna be.
Meaning we are still looking for a juicy. Alright, Saint Squad, show me the Warlock.
An interesting hero too. Well, Saint Squad is taking some thought. I was more about thinking the Tusk pick and one hero at a time. Like, what's gonna be brought out, because along with Viper and Sky.
We've seen a lot of Winter Wyvern counters. Wyvern is pretty bad right now. In the back. Yeah, that is the double portrait for the magic damage on the Sky as well as the beat. They must make sure that they have like a one sphere or Lotus Orb later down the line. Might be a good option to go for them. Against the Viper, it's not the easiest lane to pull. Stealer would come to mind. Talking about Colts, acts as a
carrier, or the good old Night Stalker.
He's 3 levels ahead of everybody.
Yeah, Quap, unless it's comboed with another.
What could work for Saint Squad, and I'm still not at all. Not at all. I don't. Stalker and Bane, like, you lose all your Beastmaster and the Viper to go into. I really like the life. Nah, it doesn't look too.
Yeah, that could work though. So there's still kind of Ranger back after those changes for the male.
If the Wind Ranger is the option, full spirit, go a little bit more aggressive. They, You're right. A flying, yeah, that counts. Really like the Visage. He builds into minus Visage.
Visage could definitely be.
Had it in my mind, but Vanish 10
off the heroes pretty much. So Slark, we saw how he was get those free hits onto Luna, start building duration. Same thing pretty much with the Viper, except there's no bear. This for me. I almost feel like Saint Squad, but I'm gonna stay neutral.
So it's not gonna be as easy to find.
So our crop of day 3 in Taurora and Invitational.
Some lags, guys. Free ring of health.
Bet winning Breastaments. Brass game's gonna be against Saint Squad tournaments, and Espada and Gambit will
matter what I would say.
And then they have to win Breastaments too. So Espada with that, I mean, showing what they were capable in that end up in the same amount of points. To the actual game at hand, 80-1, knowing moving around the river. Yeah, I'm just trying to.
What a coincidence! There's a ward here.
Control it completely near rotated to the mid lane, so that will be just
damage reduction. They have 2 damage reductions on the
Immersion and Storo trading themselves. Still trading in hits.
Something we would expect.
He
doesn't even do damage.
So to say.
Looks pretty good to me. Storo taking a little bit more. So it's the Sky you really want. Of the Luna. Meanwhile, the counterpart on Night.
Hoping to get one more Q out, but already the salve and Nefrit just backtrack the tree line. And might have just actually put himself into the leash. The Dark Pact into vision. Sailor can't get it out.
Meantime,
just grabs the creep wave. That's a.
Yeah, it's
easy trouble in this top lane. Never on, you've got the Shadow Blade as well on the Slark, so it's away on these kill attempts every time.
Yeah, like that just keeps spamming him, and with 2 mangas he will on the Beastmaster. Splitbreakers
that has it ready off cooldown too, so he's and damage roll gets take immersion zigzag movement behind.
Baited. Trying to
but also avoid Misha from throwing a nightmare. Getting bloody blocked by Stop.
Shadow Blade and starts ganking non-stop. Master, get the kill.
Yeah, he gets getting Black Archangel as well.
Soccer. He's going straight into the drums and Shadow Blade at earliest 17 minutes. But isn't enough. And chance through with this?
Oh, he's
doesn't even deny. Keep his head. And you know, never cancel charges. It's great. He cancelled the charge, by the way.
Timing for him, as long as he has the handy, I'd rather have the big knee. With boots, 365 pounds at level 10. So early game.
Yeah, let's
Eclipse hit doesn't hit the Viper, not a sit rolling around the river. Like, hey, it doesn't.
From the camp, snacking up experience for the Luna and to be with a Bane. You want to have a faster that Misha is not doing so well, and they might go for the disaster. Now it's just a 1-for-1 trade. Shouldn't have attacked him.
A tower by ulti.
Have it against just for the map.
Sure.
Tower as well. Luna sitting on top.
For this, he gets the jump onto him. They do lose the Luna. Trying to get away. Immersion with another shard.
That could have been way worse with shenanigans. I mean, he only has an Earning sitting at one side that's 300 HP, so he's like Beastmaster as well.
Side, and he actually ran on top of a sentry too. And he's gonna have a Shadow Blade up.
Hold on, that was the Slark. I was about to say, why not to start instantly into the BKB afterwards? Just have a focus, actually. It's only against the Scour.
Both teams are just like, nope, no Beastmaster. He's
talismans from the laning phase.
That's a support Skyrat for you. He doesn't do anything. Oh, he kept it. Yeah, good reaction. 3 extra heroes into the bot lane and go. Oh, Nyx just hits. Oh, he took the curve. Not quite there.
Gold change instead of 200. So it's more than one dominating tree per game, I would say. But after that, it's feeding. Fiends grip the scout if they.
Yeah, I have to rephrase and think this properly through. Taylor's not gonna have the same. Tusk is the only one way to the end. No.
From the creeps, unhealable damage.
Space. Luna would be a big pickoff.
Like,
gets a deny instead. And BCC and Immersion can give. Oh, looking for BCC. They've got the chart popped as well. They will take down the Skyrath.
That was like a fight-winning play. And guess what? Luna.
6 minutes of play. Lots of racks unless they rotate to the bot side.
Yeah, Manta is just too good in this game. Luna's so fucked. The Viper into consideration here.
Alright, this is an all stuns of once again!
No! Everything is getting into their run.
H is still up on Luna, well, Slark. Viper.
Basically means you build items, reaction.
Like, they rely on someone else to get this Necro book ready quickly. He just out, and he doesn't have buyback. He needs
3 kills, 60 seconds, no slog.
Kind of paid for
Misha
it.
has placed one hell of a lucky sentry down there.
And now there's no more of these racks down, the rest are just creating. However, but he does have that BKB up and now a cloud in place, and there's nothing that this team can do.
Yeah. Let's see how the race can fall victim to any shenanigans. Like, we've seen so whatnot, realize I don't need it, there's no...
It's pretty much of a struggle, yeah, with a Solar Crest.
Can't find the Beastmaster, used the Void already.
This time, that's not even the...
yeah. Oh, this is a moonshot on the
tower, just look at that go. The part where the game gets really hard. BCC throwing his ulti on the BKBs are coming in, but it's Spada, and they will also continue.
This looked like Saints. What were they called? Like about the we still have two games out for Group A. It's pretty much decided.
Spada, same thing. Most importantly, we'll decide who's going to be winning this group, and it's not going to be complete other group, and they will all be randomized. So, but at least this 2-0 victory section, and we will only have this little picture uploaded to you guys. Scale this to the window. We will be back on the 10th of May, the Taurora Invitational group stage. Good night, everyone.